Welcome back to another episode of the AG Media Podcast. This is episode 6. I'm here with my guest, Gabby Klein. How are you, Gabby?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so like I said before, we haven't seen each other since we graduated high school. What have you been up to?
I've been pretty busy. I had an aerial silk showcase. That was probably one of the bigger events. I've been working a bit. Yeah. What about you? What have you been up to?
Just working on the podcast, doing 75 hard, stuff like that. What was I gonna ask? I already forgot. I remember you telling me when the first episode came out that you wanted to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Why? Because it was still brand new. Like the first episode just came out. What attracted you to be on the podcast?
So I think that's a very neat idea, starting a podcast, and I wanted to help be a part of something pretty new in the newer stages. And also I noticed you had a lot of guys on the podcast, and I want to be more of a female representation. I think the first episode you did was on gym,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just it was a lot of male point of views, which I think was a very good episode. But I also felt like I could have spoken a bit more on certain things that they didn't touch on, and yeah.
Great. That's awesome. All right. So my first question for you is, what are the biggest differences that you've seen now that you're out of high school, like post high school? Like, have you lost any friends, or stepped away from a couple things that normally in high school you would have been in? What are the biggest takeaways that you've noticed after graduating high school?
I don't know. It's been kind of surreal. In my head, it hasn't fully processed that I'm not coming back. But I don't know. I feel like I'm a bit more adventurous in a way. I don't know. It's a hard
What do you mean adventurous?
I'll be branching out a little bit more, knowing that I won't be coming back here with the same people and I want to say connections. I guess they're always technically still here, but I feel like looking more into my future and what that's going to be, it's not going to be here, so I want to be building more onto that.
Yeah. You're going to Arizona State University for business law. Tell me more about that.
So I actually used to live in Arizona when I was younger.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to ask you, why ASU? Why so far away?
Yeah. I used to live in Tucson, Arizona, which is a city or a couple hours from Phoenix, so it's not too far. But I miss the heat. I miss the desert. I miss the weather. I'm a little tired of the snow here. And then I wanted to study business law. So I'm thinking about doing a law track. I know it's really difficult, but I feel like once I get out of school, I'm going to want to do something really meaningful with whatever degree and time that I spent at school, and I feel like that'll be a good way to do it.
Why business law again?
Well, the hopes are to become a lawyer.
Okay.
And yeah.
That's it?
I feel like, yeah, I've had some experiences, some more unfortunate, I guess you could say, experiences being in a courtroom, and I feel like it's a really hard thing to do, and so I want to be able to make a change through that way.
Cool. That's awesome. So I want to get into silks dancing, because I don't really understand what that is, but I know that that's very big for you. Mm-hmm. How did you even get into that? Why silks?
Okay, so our middle school math, I think it was middle school, yeah, our middle school math teacher, back then she was Kelsey's.
Oh, yeah, Miss Hartland?
Hartland, yes.
Yeah, I remember her.
When she was in college, she went to Illinois State, and she was in they have a circus group there. So that's where she learned how to do aerial silks. And then she got a coaching degree, and she started rigging silks in the gym, started teaching classes way back in 2018, 2019. And so then I started taking classes there. And then I got more interested, and I found a training camp in Vermont, middle of nowhere Vermont, where we were training circus tents, and we did other disciplines other than just pure silks. So I picked up hoop from there. I taught myself for about a year, and then I asked her if she would start teaching classes because I felt like there was only so much I could learn myself.
Yeah.
And then that her like student population grew a lot, and she got a studio, and then that grew from there, and she was able to buy a bigger studio.
Cause does she do that like full time now? Cause I know she doesn't teach here anymore.
Yeah, she runs the studio full time.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
But wait, I've seen her still here. Like, does she still work here or no?
No, she's probably just visiting, or if we have like a performance here.
Yeah, cause I've seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So did you even know what Silks was before Miss Harlan introduced it?
No.
Oh.
I just kind of stumbled upon it.
What did you learn from it? Like, did you learn anything cool from it? Cause I don't know. I've never tried. I've seen you perform and stuff, and I thought that was dope. Like, how long did it take you to be, like, I don't know, to be good? I guess.
To be good.
Yeah. Cause I mean, I've seen you perform, and I'm like, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. When I was younger, I used to go to the gym a lot. I think my dad, he would sneak me in like 2 years too young to actually be in the gym. So I grew a bunch of strength that way. And then like I said, when I went to the training camp in Vermont, I was exposed to a lot of like, I don't want to say better aerialists, but they had a lot more experience and like professional experience. And I think training amongst them helped me like, I got to watch them and think like, oh, the next time I perform, I'm going to like present myself like that or do something like that. And so I feel like that helped bring new skills and like performance ability to be better. I don't know how I would, at what point, if I would ever say, oh, I'm good. Like, I feel like I'm experienced, but like it's a weird line.
Why?
I feel like being like, oh, at that point, I was good.
Oh, okay. So, are you gonna keep doing silks in college at Arizona State or no? Is there something that they have there? I don't.
There is actually a training studio about 15 minutes. From campus. I'll probably keep doing it recreationally throughout my life, hopefully. I don't know if I'll be like signing up for classes until like second semester. I want to be able to settle in first. But yeah, there was a point in time where I thought about doing it as like a career. They have like, they're kind of like colleges, but they're like training schools where after high school you go and you take classes to become like professional. But yeah.
Why did you choose business law then instead of
So what happened was, I think it was like my junior year, I got like an offer from a school saying like, oh, you should come audition for us. But it was around that time I tore my MCL. Are you familiar with?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that just kind of jogged in my head like, if this happened and this was my career, how would I be making a living if I couldn't like perform? And then like, it feels like a kind of a risky career to have when you're depending so much on like your body and abilities. But yeah.
What is like some of like the scariest things that you had to that could have happened like through like in your head or
overcome?
Yeah.
A lot of it,
'cause you're super high up in the air.
Yeah, a lot of it felt like it happened after I tore my MCL, like coming back
to
the silks.
I get
like,
that.
It was weird. It was just like doing certain moves that I would do like religiously, like every day, like just tipping myself upside down, and I would be like overthinking it in my head, like, oh my goodness, what did I just do? Am I gonna slip up? Am I gonna fall? And then just like getting used to being like higher up again. I feel like that is a major one. There definitely are a few tricks, though, where it was, like, they're hard to get over in your head.
Like you're not ready to do it yet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you have to work up to them.
What about when you first started?
I was kind of young, and I feel like I didn't fully comprehend the things I was doing. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I might have been, like, slightly cocky as a child. I would, like, get some burns. Because I thought I was so cool just because, like, I was 1 in 5 people who could do some trick, but then I went out and I trained in Vermont with a bunch of other girls who could do that trick and then some. So yeah.
How did you get other people to do it? Or was it you, or how did like that like expand to other people?
It expanded to some of my friends. I think I was just talking about it, and then they wanted to get involved. I think that mainly was like within our grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I love encouraging people to try it, and so I know there's a few girls who I managed to rope in that way. But
Now that you've been doing it for so long, like what would you say, or what advice would you give to someone that's starting out?
Be patient. Don't give up. It's gonna be really hard, but I feel like trying is even just trying in the first place is like a feat itself. It's like a very hard thing to do physically and mentally. But I feel like it's worth it because you learn a lot, and you learn a lot about your body, and you can gain a lot of confidence.
Do you stretch at all? Like before or after?
I do, yeah. I think it's very important to stretch before and after. I think when I was younger, I did not do a good job of doing it afterwards, which caught up to my body pretty fast. But yeah, if you don't stretch beforehand, it won't be a very pleasant training experience. A lot of things will be popping, and you could pull something real fast. That could be dangerous.
All right. Going back to college, what are you most excited for about college? Like, what are you looking forward to?
Probably being on a really big school, in a really big campus.
Okay.
Like,
because it's way different than
not really knowing anyone, yeah.
That's it? That's all you're excited for?
I mean, pretty much. It feels like also independence.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go to college still yet, and it's literally July, but something that, like, my mom keeps telling me, oh, you don't have to live on campus, or like, you can still live here because Whitewater is not that far away. I'm like I haven't told her, but I kind of, like, want to, like, go, like, live by myself. I want to go live, like, independent size myself, I guess, if I said that correctly. But yeah, I want to go see what's out there and stuff like that. Going back to the MCL, how did that happen? How did that injury happen?
So what happened was she just got the current studio we're training at. She just bought it, and we were like the first group to train in it. And I was doing this one trick. It's called a triple star drop. So I rotate 3 times towards the ground pretty fast. And I basically, long story, I'll give you a long version. There's 2 ways to rig the silks in the studio we have, and one is by a pulley, where you have a rig point, and then you pull it up to the top, and then you'll tie off the rope. And the other one's stationary, so it's just always like rigged in the ceiling. Someone hooked it up there, and it just kind of sits there. And I did a triple star on the stationary rig point, and it was fine. But then I did it on the pulley rig point, and with pulleys, there's extra bounce on the silks because we don't want the ropes to snap. So if there is impact on the silks, it's going to, the weight of the rig is going to bend down, kind of. And so I did a triple star on that, and with my, force of rotating downwards, my foot hit the crash mat on the last rotation, and I was, keeping my legs straight, so it tweaked my knee inwards. Oh. And then
How long were you out?
6
actually, no. Let me go back. What was the reaction of the people that were there?
Everyone, made one of those, ugh.
Oh.
Because everyone heard it.
Was it was it like a snap or something?
Yeah, it was like a pop, yeah.
Yikes. So then what? They just said, Gabby's down, let me call 911.
What happened was, so I think I was lowering myself down because I still had wraps on me. And it wasn't until my foot hit the ground that I felt the pain, which is weird. When it popped, it hurt. But then until my foot was on the ground, there was so much adrenaline going through my veins at the point. I knew something was wrong. But then once I was on the ground, I felt it. And then I tried to walk it off, and I was limping to the corner. And Kelsey was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just give me 5 minutes." And so then I just kind of sat there.
What did you think it was at first? Did you just I just landed wrong or something like that?
No, I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was bad.
Oh.
So I was concerned for a bit there until it took my mom's an ER doctor.
Oh, okay.
So she kind of raised me with like you're fine. As long as you're not like bleeding everywhere, you'll be fine. So we waited a few days. I think she was out of town actually. So we waited a couple days to like actually get to a doctor to get it inspected. I think 2 days later, before we even saw the doctor, I had to go back to school, and I think I had a performance earlier that morning that I went to. And I knew something was wrong at the point, but I still didn't know what it was. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to do this performance just because I don't know when the next time I'll be able to perform. But yeah.
So you did it injured?
Yeah.
Was it a performance here?
No, it was at a different school actually. But
and you did it?
yeah, I got like a brace, but like my knee kept like giving out when I was trying to walk up.
Oh my gosh, you a dog. What the heck? That takes you a dog.
It's kind of like it's kind of common though if you look into like circus performance history, that a lot of performers, even if they like break their ankle, they're still gonna like perform and show up because, like I said, a lot of people, that's their career and that's just how they
I guess
get by. But
I mean, I don't know. So then so how long was it until you actually like found out that you tore your MCL?
I feel like it was like 3 days.
2 days after?
Or actually, no. It was...
Like, did you go to the doctor?
Yeah, it was 3 days. Yeah, we went to the doctor like 3 days later. And then I had to get a MRI.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
And then they told you the results. What did you like? What was the immediate, what'd you think?
I felt very grateful that my meniscus wasn't torn, because then I didn't have to get surgery. But I was still pretty disappointed. Also because, there's this, it's a youth traveling circus, but it's really hard to get into. There's like 30 spots, and then like each year there's only like 7 available to audition for, and there's multiple rounds of auditions you have to get through. But I had those auditions coming up, and that was something I've worked for over years and years and years. And so I was really disappointed about that, how I'd be spending so much time in like PT when I could be working on other skills.
When did this injury happen again?
It was like 2 years ago, fall.
Of our sophomore year?
Junior year, I believe. Yeah. Beginning of junior year.
Oh, okay. And how long did it take you to like...
Actually, no. Sophomore year. I think. I'm trying to remember. I think it's junior year. That's my bet. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. How long did you have that? Like, how long did you have to go to PT and stuff? Like, how long did the injury last?
I feel like I was like they officially called me healed after like 5 months.
Is that like typical like time?
Yeah, I believe so.
5 months.
But I was able to go on silks again after like 4. But I would just take it very easy. There were certain things that I just couldn't do.
So now would you say that you're like 100% like back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you. I mean.
Thank you.
No.
I feel like that side is kind of weaker compared, but like for the most part, it's pretty much healed. What about you?
What do you mean, what about me?
Didn't you tear your ACL?
Yes, I did tear my ACL. It was probably like one of the most difficult times of my life. I was literally so excited to play football after switching to soccer. I put a shit ton of work all summer to get ready for it. And here we are, 4 practices in, and it's gone. Just like that. I was running a route or something, and my knee just kind of buckled and like gave in, and that was that. I didn't know that it was my ACL. I didn't even think about that. I just thought like, oh, I must have stepped wrong or something, because that never happens to me in soccer. And so I remember I couldn't walk. It hurt so bad to walk. The coaches had to like drive me up the hill to the changing room or whatever. And then I just came home limping, but I thought like, oh, whatever, it's whatever for right now. Mm-hmm. And then it happened on a Thursday, so then the Friday afterwards, I went to the hospital because I was like, it hurts really bad. I can't even straighten my knee. And so they didn't really do much. They just kind of checked it, and then they just gave me crutches. And then eventually I got an MRI, and then I had the results 1 week later. And the doctor literally came in, have you seen the results? Yeah, you tore your ACL, just like that. And your lateral meniscus. And my heart dropped. Because, like, ever since I started playing soccer, like, that was the one thing I was I was afraid to tear.
Mm-hmm.
And now I actually tore it. And, like, a bunch of things were going through my head. Like it's going to take me all senior year to recover, and it sucked. But honestly, I took it pretty well. Like, I cried a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. It was really sad. But I learned how to pick myself up. When I had surgery, I was scared. Obviously, it was my first surgery ever. And it was just a very scary experience. But I didn't take any pills or anything, like any of the like painkiller things. Yeah, I just took it. I just dogged it out.
Oh wow.
It was like I'm gonna, like, this is all a mental game right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took it slow. Do you remember when I was on crutches, like in October? Yeah. But I worked my ass off to get to where I am right now. And yeah.
How did you deal with that, like, mentally? Because, like, I know you're, like, an athletic person, and, like, for me, it was really hard not being able to do anything, like,
it was very difficult for me. But something that I am very big about, and I don't talk to a lot of people about, I don't express that part of myself, but I'm very big on mindset. Your mindset is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have a very strong mindset to get through to anything. I just said, like, we're gonna figure it out. Like, I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna figure it out somehow. There wasn't really, like, a strategy or anything. I guess you could just say, like, I just went to physical therapy. I did what they told me to do. I think the hardest part was a couple days after surgery. Like, I was in a lot of pain, obviously, and I had to, like, clean, like, the stitches or something like that. And I saw my scar, and I started crying again. I was like, Jesus. Like, Andre, what did you get yourself into? And I owe a lot to my parents, too. They helped me out a lot in the first couple of weeks. Without them, I don't know where I'd be. They helped me out a lot. I know that in a different episode, like, I think the one with my cousins, I said something about, like, you don't know how good you have it until you lose it.
Very real.
Yeah. And that's, like, one of the that's, like, the biggest time where I actually realized, like, I had it really good, and I took advantage of that, and I didn't know how to like, I didn't know how to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, realize how good I really had it. Because, like, it was so difficult for me to go to the bathroom. Something so simple as to take a shower.
Yeah.
But here we are in July.
We survived.
Yeah, I survived. What a ramble by me. I just started rambling. But yeah, no. I'm glad of where I am now and how I was able to pick myself up. You? Well, you already kind of said it.
Yeah, I had to keep myself on, like, it was really weird because I feel like I didn't realize how much I was using, like, aerial silks, like, I don't know, to, like, as a distraction sometimes for everyday life. So I did feel like I had to, like, learn a growth mindset and, like, invest it a lot. And I would, like, listen to, like, positive affirmations every day.
Okay.
Because it was...
I mean, that's fine.
It sounds kind of cheesy, I feel
No,
like.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
And I would make sure I would have, like, a skincare routine, which I feel like I never really had prior to that as much. And I would have, like, 5 steps, and I just did them, like, religiously. And for some reason, that was, like, therapeutical.
I mean, everybody takes it their own. Everybody has their own way of recovering, I guess.
Yeah.
I've had that growth mindset since like 5th or 6th grade, probably like since middle school, and that's why I'm very big on your mentality. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, but I am very big on like having a growth mindset and being very positive on having a very good mindset, and that's why actually, no, never mind. I won't say that. Never mind.
No?
No.
Why not?
I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Because I don't think enough people, like, understand what it is to have a good mindset. They're just like, yeah, be positive or something like that. But it's actually a lot more. And I get that a lot from, like, oh, David Goggins and, like, stuff like that. But, like, I've been watching him for a while now. And, like, what he says is true. I've read his book and everything. And you learn a lot just from yourself too. Yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling for right now, but yeah. Moving subjects, completely different subjects. Something that I didn't know about you, but I recently just figured out is that you have Guatemalan roots, correct?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Talk to me about that.
So
Tell me more.
I was adopted, actually. I was adopted at 6 months old from the city of Guatemala. I believe it was mainly my mom. She was the only one in the picture, and then she gave me up for adoption. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I know I have an older half-sister. I've never been able to get into contact with her. I've taken the 23andMe DNA test. But yeah, recently I was able to go to there was a conference for adoptees with Guatemalan roots in Chicago. Yeah, it was a very neat experience. I felt very lucky to be able to go there. But yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. That's kind of cool. How did you hear about this, or how did you learn about it?
So what happened was my brother's also adopted.
Okay.
But he's not blood related to me. So his blood-related sister was a part of the organization.
Is your wait, is it stepbrother or half-brother? Or is
Julian?
it neither?
Are we talking about Julian? Or what do you mean?
Well, you said brother.
Brother, yeah. So my brother, the one who's legally adopted with me, is not actually blood-related to me.
Okay.
He's also adopted from Guatemala.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
But his blood sister was the one who was part of the organization, and so then she was visiting. She's visited a few times, and the last time she was in town, she was telling me about the conference, and I was able to go this year.
Did you have to pay anything? Was it for free?
There was a fee. I'm trying to remember. I don't think it was too much, but to help the next conference, and they have T-shirts and little woven wallets from Guatemala there, and little things like that make it fun.
I want to learn more, bro. Keep telling me about this because I didn't know that this even existed.
About the conference?
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's not too big of a thing at the moment. I think when it comes to being adopted from Guatemala, 2007 was the last they cut it off after that. I think their government was very unorganized at this point in time, and a lot of documents were mixed up, and of course on a lot of documents a lot of people lied. So on my my birth certificate there's a name that's not actually someone who exists, and then I actually found a blood cousin, and then she believes her uncle is my biological father, but of course she doesn't know anything about him, and he's not around too much. So there's a lot of mystery in it, but I feel having that support group and meeting them in Chicago was really awesome because I got to meet a lot of people who also had a lot of questions, and then a lot of them were older, from adopted in 90s or 2000s, and so it was really nice having that older guidance and other people who were yeah, I've had that experience.
How long was it? Just a day?
It was a weekend. So I got there on, I think it was Friday, and then it went to Sunday.
How many people were at this thing? Like in the
I
hundreds?
want to guess about 60. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know there was. They also had like a Zoom call going because not everyone could like physically make it in person.
Mm.
But I think physically there was about 60 people.
Cool. That's awesome. That's all the questions I have for you. Yeah. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh yeah, I do have a question.
What's up?
All right. So I was talking to one of the underclassmen the other day, and she's kind of sad that I'm leaving and graduating, and it had me thinking that like I never really had like an upperclassman until like my later high school years that I looked up to. Is there anyone you looked up to when you were an underclassman, and why did you look up to them? No.
No, I didn't really know anybody. No, I wasn't close to like anybody when that was older than us. Trying to think. I mean, a couple people from the soccer team, but I wasn't close with them or anything, so I'd say no. You? What about you?
No, not really. Not until like my like junior year of high school, I feel like. And I feel like this has been on my mind because like moving to Arizona, I have a couple friends. I know one girl, she's actually going to Arizona State into her sophomore year. They're going to be there to help me move in.
Okay, cool.
And I feel so grateful for that. And I feel like especially because I never really had like those upperclassmen growing up in high school.
Yeah.
But
yeah, if anything, I feel like I'm the upperclassman that, like, I got close to Jacob Haynes, who's a well, no, he's a sophomore now, if Jacob Haynes is watching. He a goofball. Or, I mean, kids from Bigfoot, too, like Luca, who I think is a junior. He was on the podcast. Who else have I got close with? I mean, I guess the juniors I've gotten close with, too. Just to name a few, yeah. It sucks that I'm leaving them. It sucked. It was a little hard. I was like, see you brodies later.
yeah, that's sad.
It's okay. They'll move on.
They will.
They'll probably forget about us anyway. Yeah, any questions, concerns, comments to this podcast?
I don't think so.
Did you think that, like, what was the expectation going into this podcast?
I think it was about this.
It was about this?
Yeah. Pretty much.
You don't have anything else to say?
I mean, I was curious if I was going to be the only person here. I'm not going to lie, because I know a lot of podcasts you have like 2 people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was just going to be you. I guess I didn't really explain it to you.
Yeah.
I just said, "Yo, Gabby, you want to be on the podcast? Because I know you've been wanting to." But yeah, no. Well, thank you for coming on. I want to thank you for your time of episode 6 of the AG Media Podcast. I think that's where I'll end it. Subscribe to AG Media.
Subscribe.